My name's Joseph Kreps. I'm a DUI defense attorney in Alabama. We handle DUI cases throughout the state of Alabama and have resolved thousands of DUI and traffic cases all over the state. If you've been charged with DUI in Alabama, all you have to do to begin the conversation with us about your case is call our office. You can reach us at 866-348-2889. I want to talk to you today about the value or the purpose of the field sobriety test from an officer's standpoint. Many people that we represent indicate to us that they could not perform the field sobriety test whether they were actually impaired or whether they were stone cold sober. And we hear that a lot and believe it to be true, mostly because the exercises that are requested are done in an awkward environment on the side of the road, with most of the time passing cars and trucks, and usually at night with police officer lights blaring, and these can cause problems with the tests as well, and cause problems with the perception of the person performing the tests. These field sobriety tests are much less reliable than chemical tests in determining the blood alcohol content. It's very important to understand that. The validation studies tended to indicate certain BAC or blood alcohol content with the results of the test, but those studies and those conclusions can be and should be attacked because they are not valid. The tests are important for an officer to handle in a standardized manner. And the reason for that is, if a test is scored in the standardized manner and the instructions are given in the standardized manner, then the reliability of the tests are going to be much greater than they would be otherwise. What we find in our practice, however, is that most of the tests are not performed in a standardized manner, and the instructions and the scoring is certainly not standardized. They're all over the place as far as what officers are giving instruction-wise and the scoring process that they go through. The main purpose of the field sobriety test is to give the officer some information and a standardized way to develop probable cause for the ultimate arrest, and to validate suspicions that the officer may have had based on the other phases of the process: the vehicle in motion phase, the initial encounter, and ultimately the phase that includes the testing, which is the pre-arrest screening. It's also an asset in establishing possible physical or mental impairment at the time of driving, or at least close to the time of driving, which is obviously ultimately the goal of the prosecution and of the police officer. If someone absolutely cannot perform the field sobriety test, then it could be argued by the prosecution that they were so impaired that they were unable to do so. That is a matter of interpretation, obviously, and it always helps to have a video when evaluating the field sobriety test. Sometimes the video does not help our client or the defendant because it indicates problems or it indicates possible impairment, and without any other explanation, a judge or a jury is likely to find that that is the case. The other point and the purpose as it relates to standardized field sobriety tests is to establish the causal relationship between alcohol and ultimately the driving behavior. And it's important to note that just because someone may fail, or the officer may say that they have failed the standardized field sobriety test, does not mean, number one, that they are guilty, and number two, that they were in fact impaired. As I said initially, it is very, very, very common for people not to be able to perform these tests when they are sober, much less when they are out on the side of the road at night, scared, frightened, angry, upset, and asked to perform these tests with the glaring lights of a police vehicle, people driving by, trucks zooming past on the interstate if it's out there. There are a lot of factors that come into play in reviewing and scoring the field sobriety test results. If you have been charged with DUI in Alabama, it's very important that you have someone working on your case who is certified per NHTSA guidelines to administer the same field sobriety tests that you performed on the side of the road. It's important for us to know how the officer scored those tests and whether the instructions that were given to you were proper. It's very important that the attorney helping you is certified to administer those tests so that the perspective that we have is very similar to that the officer has, in that we are trained under the same manual and under the same guidelines. To begin the conversation with us about your DUI that is pending, all you have to do is call our office. You can reach us at 866-348-2889, or you can visit our website at Alabama DUI-attorney, that's the symbol dash, attorney.com. We do not charge an initial consultation fee, and we look forward to speaking with you about your case, and we believe that you have the right to speak to any lawyer that you choose that you may possibly hire on your case without any charge for a consultation fee. Again, you can reach us at 866-348-2889. Thank you very much.